Everybody's cameras are broken, y'all. Cameras are broken. Cameras are broken. Oh my gosh, no, no. Well, if you're driving, you can have your camera off. That's acceptable. If you're not driving, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. You guys like the music? Who likes the music? Who likes the music? Yeah. Let's go. All right, y'all. 2027. What a great start to 2029. I can't believe it's only 2006. Like, wow, this is exciting. This is exciting. Thank you for the thank you. All right, all right, all right. So let's start out like we always do. In the chat, let's get some wins in the chat. Let's get some wins in the chat. Let's get some wins in the chat. Let's get some new intentions we're working on for 2020. What year are we in? 2028? 2042? I think I'm an AI bot. Who even knows? Who even knows? Oops, bad words. Whoops. Let's go. Let's get a win. Let's get some wins, y'all. I have fire for you, but I'm not going to give it to you unless you guys participate. I literally can just sit here and do nothing. It's like 80 degrees out here. Like, take my shirt off and walk around in my boxers, like, get a tan. I'm totally okay with that. It's okay with that. Let's get some wins in the chat. Let's get some intentions. Yeah, chat. Always in the chat. Always in the chat. There's like 47 people here. 47 people here. Let's go. Got a new buyer from referral this morning. We're meeting on Saturday. I love it. I love it. Ooh, this is a good song. This is a good one. This is a good one. Completed my New Year's pop buys and everyone, you loved them. I love it. I love it. You guys, this is an opportunity to share other things that are working with you and others. Like, this is a way to mastermind from other people doing business. Share what's working. Had a listing meeting that went well and they'll be listing with me. Congratulations, Scott. New buyer from an open house. Let's go, Connie. Closed a really tough transaction. Let's go, Ryan. New sign listing. So SOI 4-month fall. Got it. New listing from your SOI after a 4-month follow-up. Listing going live. Doing a $250 Amazon card gift away to download my buyer app. Past client called to sell father-in-law's house. Neighbors called. Y'all, look at that. Look at how much activity is happening in this room. Like, this is a room of people doing business. Like, there's so many real estate rooms and forums where people are just bitching and complaining about the market and about this and that. Leanne's got her new headset on. Look at that. I mean, I think we need to celebrate her new headset. I mean, if we're not celebrating the headset, what are we doing in our life? That is a celebration. All right, y'all, get your cameras on. Let's go. I need to see more cameras. I need more faces. Like, I took a shower last month for this. Like, I am super prepared. Closed my first 2025 transaction. I like that. 7 days in. That's awesome. That's awesome. So much winning happening. So much winning happening. In other rooms, so much losing happening. All right. So why are you guys here? What brought you here? What was it that made so many of you wanted to come here? Other than there's so many guests here today. Wow, it's unbelievable. And so many AI note takers. There's more note takers than people. I love it. What made you come here? Closing a transaction on the 3rd, 2 inbound referrals. Let's go. What made you come here today? Like, what do you want to get out of your 1 hour of time? Like, what do you want to get out of your 1 hour of time? Janet's got freezing cold weather. She's got like 62 scarves on. I'm sorry, you guys. It's perfectly 77 degrees where I'm at. I won't tell you because I don't need you to guys ruin it. Yeah, I don't need you guys to ruin my city that I fought so hard to try to keep people out of. So I won't tell you where I'm at, but it's perfect. Yep, I'm a jerk. be surrounded by like-minded individuals, psychology behind it, new approaches. You guys, you can hear new approaches all effing day long. I'm telling you, there's a new approach every week. If you don't implement it, don't sit here and waste your time. Get on the phone and prospect. Like, if you guys aren't going to implement what I teach you today, leave. I'm okay with that. Like, my feelings are not going to get hurt. I have alligator skin. Like, I have alligator skin. What we need to start focusing on in 2027 is, wait, what year? 2006? I don't know, what year are we in? 2032, sorry. What we need to focus on is stop saying I'm here to like learn, like hear approaches. You're not learning, you're implementing. Your language is powerful. You're not here to learn, you're here to implement. You're here to take 1 to 3 strategies away and take that to the bank. You're not here to learn. Stop learning. Some of you have been learning for like 6 years, but you've implemented 0. All right. So can we make that like a 2025 that I'm not here to learn, I'm here to do? Can we stop being the person who gets a dopamine rush? It's like a crack hit for a crackhead that's out in the middle of the streets. Can we agree to that, y'all? There's 60 people in here, like 37 note takers. All right, you guys said it. Should we get started? So we got a new office space and I don't have any of my technology set up. So we're gonna just wing it old school style and like bounce in and out of Zoom. And this should be fun. So like, let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do. Present full screen. I don't want to present full screen. No, that's not working. Anybody know how to use Canva like better than I do? Because I practiced this earlier and now it's not doing what I want. Give me a second here. Technology. You guys, I'm like, even though my name says I'm Indian, I'm really not Indian. Because like, let's just be true. Why does it keep going to full? Anybody know how to use Canva? Somebody help me out. Can you tell me why it's not? Look, can you tell me why it won't let me just share the screen without going full screen? Like, I just want to share. I want to present without going full screen. Any idea? Louisa helped me earlier, but she's not here right now. I know, but I want to be better. It's 2026. I want to be better. All right, let's try this. Oops. Whoa. Oh boy. All right. Well, we're gonna just play around with this. So I have a fundamental belief, y'all. I have a fundamental belief that conversion doesn't happen in conversation. I have a fundamental belief. Conversion does not happen in conversation. Conversion happens in great conversations. Because is it true that we've had hundreds of conversations last year that didn't convert? Is it true that we went on listing presentations and buyer presentations, and at the end of the year, these people are still ghosting us, still stringing us along with the same objections, and we're still trying to figure it out? We're still trying to learn what to say. So it's not about, right? It's not about conversations. It's about having great conversations. And let's figure this out here together. So you guys, for the guests that are here, I'll bore you guys with some stats. Created the Trust Rapport Influence Sales Method. I did $250 million in production. I've sold Cutco knives. I've sold cell phones. I've sold, what else have I sold? I've sold wellness services, memberships, high ticket stuff, and it's all the same. Sales is all the same. And when we start to accept that it's all the same, we start to get better at the process. I sold weed. Yes. Thank you, John. I sold weed in high school, sold pizzas, lots of good stuff. All right. So why does that matter? Like 2017, I was able to travel the world with Tony Robbins and go to a bunch of conferences. I went to 17 conferences and our team still did $50 million in sales. The reason why that matters is because if you learn how to replicate the process, you can have success even if you're not there, which is what I think a lot of us want going forward. So some of the people who I've learned with over the years, Tony Robbins, Frederick Eklund, I've been on some Inman panels. I think the best one up here is like little cute Vic right here with little suit and tie, 17-year-old, right? I think I weighed 17 pounds at that point. Sharon as a private mentor for years and years. So I want you guys to think about what are your aha moments that you have. I want you to take a fresh sheet of paper and I want you to have that separated for aha moments, not notes, just aha moments. Have one section for notes, one section for ahas. And the reason why is because you're not going to read your notes. You're going to only remember your ahas. Y'all, I am a realtor. I know how your brains work. You're thinking about happy hour already. It's only 1:11. Stop it. Sales is a game of trust, goals, and skills. And I'm going to prove to you guys in a little bit that you don't need more leads. You need to convert the people you're talking to at a higher level. Stop giving your money to Zillow. Stop giving your money to our companies. Stop giving your money away. Like, you don't need to do it. It's crazy how much money people waste to have a database full of people they don't talk to. Can I get an amen on that one? Please, can I get a hand raise on that one? How much money is wasted every single year, every single month, every single day in our industry by people that have databases full of leads that you don't call? And then you blame the leads and you blame the market, when really we just don't have the right skills and the right systems, and we're using antiquated technology. We're using stuff that's 20 years old. Y'all wouldn't use an iPhone that's more than 6 hours old, but yet you will follow the person that hasn't upgraded their sales track in 20 years. It's crazy. So my team and I did over 1,250 buyer presentations in about 5.5 years. I just want to let that sink in a little bit. How many buyer presentations did you go on? How many buyer presentations did you go on last year? How many buyer presentations do you want to go on this year? How many buyers do you have? How many deals do you want to do? It's math, it's numbers. It's not emotions. It's not, well, I feel like doing this today. Nobody ever feels like doing a buyer consultation, I promise you. But I want to show you guys something, because do you think we might have learned a couple of things by going on 1,200 presentations in a 4 or 5 year time? Couple of things, and I want to share a lot with you today. Your lender and your list of home is not valuable. Y'all, it's 2025. We have AI agents doing everything now. I can go in Chat GPT and figure out more stuff than I ever knew in a matter of 3 hours. Do you think that your clients need you to send them to a lender? If that's part of your process before you meet with them, 85% of the time your processes are broken, unless you're dealing with people who have a lot of financial difficulties, and then that's a different story. The momentum-based market of 2022 is gone. 2025, I promise you, is going to be hard as hell. There's so much uncertainty in this market right now. There are so many fears. We are not going to see 5-6 million home transactions. And if you go onto a forum, let me just show you guys something, okay? Because I'm going to teach you a formula, all right? This, I literally got tagged on this morning to this. Oh, I literally got focused, this tagged. Focus on listing and not buyers. I've wasted so much time showing homes to buyers that ended up renting or decided not to buy. Whose fault is it if you guys go out and waste your time? Like, in the chat, whose fault is it? If you go out and show property to people and they decide not to buy, not to transact with you, whose fault is it? If we become okay with the fact that we're salespeople and we might not be as good as we think, it gives us the ability to change what we do, which allows us to become better. I think I'm a shitty salesperson. Like I really do. I'm like, man, there's so much stuff I don't know. It becomes humbleness. It brings the ego out of the room. You might want to write that down. Like I am just not as good as I think I am. Like I am just not my stunning personality and my great looks that my parents gave me. Right? Come on, you guys, you can laugh a little bit. You can laugh. No jokes. No jokes. Everybody's still stuck. So come on, y'all. If we don't, right? If we don't figure it out, then we don't get better. That still gives me to the full void. I'm trying to avoid the full screen so I can come in and out of Zoom. That's my problem. And I don't have my my little buttons to press. I already tried that. It works. Luisa got it to work. It's all right. It's fine. It's no big deal. Like, guys, it's okay. We'll survive. So this language right here, focus on listings and not buyers. Well, that's some average agent shit. Why? What is half of your market? What is half of the market? Oh, okay. So you just want to go shit on half the market. Go for it. Leave. You don't need to be here. This is not for you. In order to be a seller, what do you need to be? Put in the chat. I'm not that smart, just really energetic. 2 big cups of coffee. Can't tell you where the coffee's from because then you might start learning where I'm at. I don't need you guys here. There's too many English speakers here. So all sellers at one point were buyers. So if you're neglecting buyers, you're just saying I don't care about 50% of the market. Okay, cool. Does your market have enough like just sellers that are selling that you can go after? Do you even know how to attract sellers into your world? Oh, okay, awesome. So when you go on forums and you hear these stupid people saying stuff, like they're good intention, but they have bad processes. Like, please do not listen to those people. We did a ton of business. And the reason why we're able to do so much business in 2017 is because guess what? A lot of those buyers from 2013 and 14 became sellers in 2016 and 17. Who do you think they called? They called me because we stayed in contact with them. We had a process to stay in contact with them and have parties and events for them. So if you don't work on buyers, how do you build a portfolio of sellers? I don't know. If you guys have a system or you just have big bags of money in your pocket, like I am open to taking some of that off of your hands. So don't be average agents, you guys. 50% of the market, right? The truth is, the reason why we don't do presentations is because we don't have a process. So I'm going to lay out a lot of stuff for you guys today. A lot of us have a closing percentage. Like some of you guys don't track. Most of you guys don't track. That's okay. Like it is what it is. But a lot of us say, oh, well, we close at a pretty good amount. We're closing 20%. 2 out of 10 people say no to you. We call those lay down sales. Lay down sales are the people that are going to say yes to the first person they meet. It's not because you did a great job. I know I'm being an a-hole. It's the start of the year, Vikram. Calm down. It's not because you did a great job. It's because you were the first person with a pulse to say hello. And people have a feeling of obligation, right? Just like when you go buy a car, you deal with the person even if you don't like them, or you go to a different car dealership. People will literally go out of town to buy a car, or they'll go across town to buy a car because they didn't like the salesperson. Hey, Dad, why didn't you buy a car up the street? I didn't like the salesperson. Why didn't you get a different salesperson? I didn't want to feel like I was being mean to that guy. If you're not closing 50 to 70% of the people you talk to, you're doing something wrong. You're leaving money on the table. So, oops. We don't need this one. So I'm going to show you guys a process to follow. How many of you guys here have ever thought of your process when it comes to buyers? Not the ones that have been working with me for the last 90 days. I love you, Sal. Just kidding. Raise your hand. Raise your hand proud and high. There we go. We'll get a little dance. Rafe has, right? Most people think that buyers are not systematic. If you were to go to a listing a presentation, would you have a process for that listing? Would you have a presentation? Would you have comps? Would you have done preparation prior? Why don't we treat buyers the same way? In fact, it's harder to buy a house than it is to sell a home. And guess what? It starts on the phone. How many of you guys just want to drop out now? We have to get better on the phone. We have to get better at communicating. In a world where everybody wants to send a text message, guess what is missing in the world? And what do you think consumers are craving? Guess what's missing in the world, and guess what consumers are craving right now? What do you guys think? A human-to-human conversation, a connection. Can you make a connection while texting people while you're taking a crap? I know when you guys are texting, when you're pooping, when you're dropping a deuce. I know, Rafe, this is crude. This is crude, but this is the truth. This is how humans work. So if we can't talk to somebody on the phone and have a conversation with the person we don't know, how in God's name are we going to have a great in-person meeting? Now, I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say, but Vic, nobody picks up the phone. And I'm going to refute that with 3 to 8% of people pick up the phone. And it's a different 3 to 8% every single day. The problem isn't that people aren't picking up the phone. The problem is that you don't know what to say to those people on the phone. Can we agree with that? Is that fair? Is that fair? Can we get a high five on that? And just so you guys know, like it's hard. All right, like it's hard. It is hard to be good in sales. Like this is our team script, right? Like I'm just fully like this is for my team. The goal is not to talk marketing top. Well, hi, I'm calling with Real Broker. Hi, I'm calling with Remax. Hi, I'm calling with Redfin. Hi, I'm calling in my team, and here's what I do, and we help you. You guys, is anybody here not a trusted advisor in this day and age? You know how many Zillow profiles I read that say I'm the trusted advisor? You know how many videos I watch where I say why you should work with me? It's because I treat all my clients like family. You know, last year, my brother and I had a blowout fight where he basically told me to fucking die. Is that how you want to treat your family? I'm just asking questions here. You know, I'm just curious. He's like, you should fucking die. You're a piece of shit wannabe. And I'm like, we treat our clients like family. What kind of family? What period of time do we treat them like family? What are your prospects thinking? Do you think they're thinking about the stuff you say? Probably not. Do you think they wake up and they start thinking about your marketing talk or the stuff you guys learned at that big conference 6 weeks ago? You spend thousands of dollars to go to, and then you come home, you're like, I don't want to say that to people. That sounds like shit. Like I'm just real. I just am who I am. It's a lot more fun to be authentic. Authenticity vibrates higher than any other frequency, including love. And yet so many of us show up every single day inauthentic, which is why you don't do the work. Fair or fair? We have to start thinking like our prospects, right? We have to start thinking not about how we solve their problems, but what is their actual problems, right? Being real is the first step to psychology-based sales. If you can't place yourself in the shoes, then you can't have empathy towards them, and you won't ever know what they're going through and what they're feeling. I would probably write down that last line. You might want to take a picture of that. I'm not kidding. You're all thinking about yourselves when you go into press. I do this, I do that, I do this, I do. You don't even know what their problems are. And we're talking about all the things that we do. It's crazy. And it's not your fault, because that's what real estate agents have been taught for the last, good God, 37 years. I just didn't happen to come from real estate, which is why maybe I think like an idiot. Like, that's all. It's just, I didn't come from here. Okay. Oh, this just worked. Oh, sweet. All right, this worked. So when you're on the phone, the first thing you need to do is you need to get their overarching goal. I'm going to give you guys a little bit on it, but we're not going to be able to go deep in it. If you're a guest here and you want more of this, join us live in our programs. If you guys are here as a client and you haven't gone through the ultimate appointment booking formula at least 10 times, you're on drugs and crazy. First thing we need is the overarching goal. Second thing we need to do is have the 7-figure buyer present. You guys, I did 1,250 presentations, and I had Sharon as a best friend to talk to like every day. It's pretty fucking good. And then the third thing is we need to learn how to close with the calendar. So instead of us following up randomly, we have a set of dates that we're working backwards against. So then when we call them, we now have an opportunity to say, hey, well, based on our last conversation, you said you wanted to do XYZ by this date. Has something changed in your world? No. Awesome. Cool. Now we have a better conversation. If we don't have a process, we lack confidence, we stall on taking action. All right. Any of you guys heard any of this stuff in this, right? Buyers are liars. All the lead sucks. I need now buyers. I'll win them in the showings. No, I don't need to do a buyer consultation. I'm going to win them in the showing. And then what if you're in multiple offers? How do you have a good conversation around offers when you have a listing at 500,000 and they have 11 offers and one of them's at 580, like 20% higher than where your offer is? And your client's like, maybe we should come in at 480 and then, they can come back to us. And you're like, yo, bro, it's not 1977. Stop listening to your grandpa. He's not giving you good advice. They only are renters. I show them, they ghost. I only need listings, list to last, time wasters. Anybody heard those before? Can I get a 1 in the chat? I want to make sure you guys can still hear me. Okay, so a lot of people. So the question is why do we hear this so often? Why does that show up on so many forums? Why do you guys work so hard showing houses, driving people around, wasting your time, money, gas, and energy, where you could be sitting out here with me in this amazing weather, sweating and getting people to stare at you like a weirdo? Guys, people look at me like I'm on drugs right now. It's just 2 coffees. So why do some agents win and some agents lose? In the chat, why do some agents win and some agents lose? Is it because one agent is tenured? Well, they became tenured by doing something. Consistency. I can consistently run the wrong way. It's never going to get me home. Do the work, right? I don't know what kind of work I need to do. Skills and a plan with confidence. I like that answer. Plan, have an SOP, have a process. Repetition. If I repeatedly take my head and bang it into a wall, I'm probably stupider than I currently am. Process, skills, and persistence. You guys, I just want to break, I'm not attacking any of you. I want to break down the buzzwords of our industry that keep us stuck and keep us from the 2 to 4 deals a month that we all want to do. All right. I talk to probably 100+ agents a week. Everybody says they want to do 2 to 3 deals a month. Do you know what the percentage that actually are doing that out of 100? Maybe 3. 9 years in the business, I'm still at 1. 6 years in the business, I'm doing 1.25. 3 years in the business, I'm doing 0.5. Right? The reason we prioritize other people's needs is because we're desperate to not lose them as a client. That's the truth. The only reason we don't say no to people is because of what? It's because we're scared to lose them as a client. Because we say if we feel that if we say no, they're going to run the opposite way. That's the truth. If you had a bustling pipeline and somebody was being a complete jerk to you, you'd be like, peace, I don't need you. Right or right? The reason why voicemails say I'm available 24/7, that's a lie. That's a freaking lie. You go crazy. The reason why your voicemail say, I'm sorry, I'm not available, I'm either with the client or out showing properties, is because we feel the need to show that we're doing something. Otherwise, our prospects are going to think less of it. And it's because we lack the process and the SOPs and the confidence. Because if we knew what to say and how to say it, we wouldn't belittle how hard we work on a daily basis. It's just my beliefs. Just my beliefs. So there's an old way of doing business that most of us have been taught. I'm going to show you guys both. Here's the old way. You get a lead. Maybe you call them. You probably send them to a lender to make sure that they're pre-approved. You then show them a bunch of homes, and then you call them twice after the showings, and then you hope and pray and scratch your head, why didn't they not call me back? It's the old way of doing business. Let's talk about the new way of doing business. All right. You get a lead. You call them, you text them, you find them on social media. You figure out their overarching goal. You meet them for a coffee to do a consultation with them. I'm going to give you guys the goal of the consultation, and you get a commitment for them to work with you before you go out and waste any more of your time. How many of you would rather spend 45 minutes with somebody to figure out that they're not the right person for you versus spending 17 hours showing homes and then chasing them down for the next 6 months when they don't like you? Like, what would you rather do? Would you rather give up the 45 minutes up front or the 7 hours in the back of chasing somebody down? I have a hot pipeline. What does that mean? I have a hot pipeline. Tell me more about your hot pipeline. Well, I have 3 buyers that said they're going to buy in April. April of what year? Well, next year. Why? I don't know. Why are they moving? They need a bigger house. What do you mean they need a bigger house? Well, they said they need more space. Why do they need more space? Well, they have 2 kids and a dog. I know people with 2 kids and a dog that live in a 2-bedroom, super small apartment. I know people with 2 kids and a dog that live in a 15,000 square foot house. What do they need the more space for? What is their current problem that they're solving for? I don't know. Then you don't have a lead if you know nothing about them. You have a possibility, but I wouldn't put my bankroll on that possibility. So you got to trust the process. All right. You got to trust the process. You get a lead, you call them, you sit down with them for coffee, you figure out what their problems are, you get a commitment for them to work with you. That is a client. That is somebody who I will pick up the phone at 8 o'clock at night for. That is somebody who I will tell my friends, hey, we have an offer review. I need to get them into this property. I'll see you guys in a couple of hours. The other person just wants you to show houses, doesn't want to sign a commitment to you, doesn't understand compensation. You're hoping and praying the seller is going to compensate you, because if they don't, you didn't have the conversation around your money because you didn't have a process to lay out for them. And now, right now, is it true that some of you guys are in a situation where your marketplace sellers are paying less compensation to the buyer's side? Is that happening in some of your markets? I see it on Facebook. I hear it from you all the time. On the buyer side, I'm only getting 1 or 2%. I'm getting 20 to 30% less than what we got pre-NAR. The reason that happens is because we didn't have a conversation around compensation. So trust the process, it works. What are we doing on time? We got so much time. We got so much time. All right, you guys, I'm going to give you a bonus here. I wasn't going to give this to you because I thought I'd run out of time, but I'm doing okay. I will probably run short at the end. This is the natural conversation formula. the first thing that we have to think about is, what is the intention that we're getting in front of these people for? Is it to help them, or is it so that I can get a paycheck to pay my mortgage next month, pay my 5 series? Second is body language. Imagine if I got on this call and I'm like, all right, everybody, today we're going to talk about buyer psychology. I don't even know how to be boring. I don't even know how to be boring. I try to be boring. I don't even know how to do it. I fidget with things. My hands are moving, right? There's etiquette with your body language. If you're on a Zoom call like this and your hands are under the table and they're moving around, it looks really weird to the other people. They might think you're doing other things that you probably don't want. You guys, this is just the truth of where we are in the world. If we don't talk about it here, where do we talk about it? In real life, I don't want you guys to do that. Third thing is, you got to work on your tonality. Stop sounding like a happy puppy. You're so excited. I'm so excited to be here today. Oh my God, thank you for letting me come over. Like, it's so weird. You're providing them a service. Why are you so excited to be there? It spells desperation. How fast do you talk? How slow do you talk? Do you know when to emphasize certain words? Do you know when to leave a pause? Do you know when to have a leadership tone, more of a playful tone, more of a skeptical tone? When you're in a sales conversation, do you know how to be conversational inside of a sales conversation? Anybody here on this call been on a sales call with me? Who's been on a sales call with me? Was it fun? Did I swear? Maybe with Edwin I didn't, because I thought Edwin was super. I thought Edwin was super by the book, and then I realized fucking Edwin's worse than I am. Was it super scripted? Did it feel super scripted? Guess what? Every single thing that I said in that presentation is almost 85% the same as the next person. Super scripted, but you wouldn't know. Did I hold you to a higher standard and call you out on your BS? Sales is not about friendship, y'all. Sales is about learning to challenge people's thoughts and beliefs and limiting structures that they've created over a lifetime. It's not my job to be your best friend. None of you guys, like 10% of you guys reached out for New Year's, Christmas, and my birthday. It's not your fault, but this is a business transaction. I don't expect you guys to do that, nor do I need to send every single one of you a happy New Year's. I barely send that to my friends and family. I'm not going to send it to 300 people that I only know on a Zoom call. It's not that I don't love you, but when we say our clients are like our family, that's not really true. I would probably say we should, for some of us, we should treat our clients better than how we treat our family. Like, I just seen families. I've been in a lot of houses. So we have to stop these things that keep us blocked. Conversational. What about listening? What about listening skills? Are we actually listening to what the person says? And are we having a structured conversation, or what we all hate the word of, script? Just so you know, every NFL halftime show is completely structured and scripted. It's choreographed for months, and they practice every single move multiple times, over and over and over and over again. Because if one person makes one false moves, the internet blows you up. Oh, did you see number 32? Did you see? Oh, yeah, she didn't move the right way. Oh, right? We blow that person up that they were 1 millisecond off in their choreograph. And yet we want to walk in and wing things. Now take a picture of this if you guys want. I'd put this on your boards, right? What's your intention? What's your body language? Are you varying your tonality? Are you varying your pace? Are you being conversational, or do you sound like every telemarketer that you hate? Are you listening consciously to what the prospect says? And are you using a structured conversation to move through the process or not? Oh, if you guys want to take a photo and tag me. All right, don't do it. So here's the roadmap that you all should follow. If you're a client, you already have this, but it's just for a reminder. You need the ultimate appointment booking formula because if you can't have a conversation on the phone, you're not going to get in front of people. You need to learn how to build trust, rapport, influence so that you can get more sales. You then need the 7-figure buyer presentation, and you need the $1 billion listing presentation. This is me right here, the guy with the old guy with the beard, because I'm now older. So this is me. No, I'm kidding. You guys, this is where you win conversations. All right. You don't win a buyer when you're showing them homes. You don't win the buyer when it's time to set an offer and there's 7 offers on the table. You don't win the buyer while you're walking up the stairs and you're staring at the back of their head and you're trying to build rapport and trust. You don't win a buyer 15 minutes while you're done showing them house. You're like, hey, could we talk for a few minutes at the kitchen table? And they're like, yeah, what do you want to talk about? You're like, well, we should talk maybe a little bit about the process, what you're looking for, right? Have any of you guys gone into a buyer consultation and you spent 35 minutes talking about what they're looking for in a home? Be real. Be real. That was my first set of buyer consultations. We talked about the bedrooms and the kitchen location, the bathrooms, which way the master bedroom was facing, because I had a lot of Asians and Indians. So we talked about where the bathroom was facing. We talked about, is it needing to be remodeled, the neighborhood. We spent 45 minutes talking about their dream home. And then when it was time to write offers, guess what they said? Oh, Mr. Vikram, we really want to buy this home, but it is 1.1 million and we want to offer 900. I'm like, Mr. Kumar, there's 17 offers on this house. It's going to go for 1.4 million. Well, Lati, we are very strong buyers. We have 80% down payment. We're working at Microsoft. I'm like, so does everybody else, bro. You're going up against 9 cash offers with a 7-day close. Oh, don't worry. We're very confident. Put 900. I'm like, I'm not writing shitty offers. I don't write shit. I'm not testing the market with you. If you guys want to write $900,000 offers, there's a company called Redfin. After you go waste your time and their time, because they are paid to waste your time, come back to me and we'll go win a house. But you do it here in the buyer consult. Ultimate appointment booking formula, you guys, if you don't have an overarching goal from the prospect, the prospect doesn't need to meet with you. So you have to know what to say on the phone. And what to say on the phone is, hey, what are you looking to buy? When do you want to be there? Are you pre-approved? I'll send you to my lender. Okay, if you see something you like, I'll send you a list of houses. If you see something, call me back. That is not a script. That is old school. The overarching goal is why, their real problem, the pain they're having, and how long they've had it for. I take a picture of this. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Here's how you get the overarching goal. So I was curious, Sal, when we met at that open house, right? And we were talking, what was it about your conversation that made you want to book in this strategy session today? And they're gonna go, oh, well, we're needing a new home. You seem nice. You seem like a good guy. You seem like you knew what you're talking about. So we just wanted to get some more information. Because that's what everybody says. Everybody wants information. And you have to be able to take this, probe and clarify, and get to the overarching goal. Yeah, man, that makes sense. Like, you want more information about like car insurance? You want more information about homes in the Clyde Hill area? No, I want more information about Clyde Hill. And what's it about Clyde Hill that's different about the neighborhood you're in right now? Boom, now they start talking. All right. Just so I understand better, what's the reason you reached out today about possibly looking to make a move? Right? Too many of you guys use assumptive language too soon in the conversation. This is 17 seconds into the conversation. I have no idea if they're ready to make a move or not. Okay, I was just curious, like, what was it about the home that attracted your attention? Okay, what would be different about this neighborhood, this house versus where you're currently living? And then when they ask a question, shut up and stop talking. And then when they answer, right, you guys, this is the hard part. When they answer, go 2 layers deeper. Don't be like, oh, yes, this neighborhood has the best schools. Like everybody loves. Why are schools important to you? Right? You got to learn to probe and clarify. Right? Oh, you said you want to be in this neighborhood. Tell me more about that. What do you mean when you say that you need more space? Okay, so has that had any, like, you guys not having that extra space and you working in your living room, has that had any impact on you? How so? How long, right? How long has that been going on for? How long have you been wanting to learn a better sales process? How long have you been wanting to get your own private office? How long have you wanted the kids to have a backyard for? How long have you wanted to be in a better school district, a safer neighborhood, a bigger house? That gives you motivation. Asking them when they want to move is going to be like, well, we're not in a rush. Okay. Here's your presentation goals. Oh, we're doing so good on time. This is unreal. I should probably tell you guys a story about nothing. Anybody want to hear a story about nothing? I mean, I could talk for hours. Okay. Sal, don't make the poor people wait for nothing. I mean, okay, fine, we'll do it, Sal. You guys, I blame Sal. Blame Sal. Here's your goals in the presentation. Number one is identify a clear problem. Clarify their overarching goal. Create an emotional gap of what that problem is causing. Identify a timeline, or what we call the calendar close, because is buying a home a large decision? No? Yes, no, I don't, I can't read your minds, you guys. Like some of us spend hours thinking about what our outfit is for New Year's. And we expect people, just because we talk to them at an open house, to be ready to buy something that they're going to be in from 3 to 10 years. That's going to probably take every single resource that they've been saving for 5 to 7 years away. So is it probable that you're going to talk to somebody in January that is going to be ready in April or May, after taxes and the refund comes in, to actually buy a home? You want to create a calendar with them. You want to identify a timeline. When you identify the timeline, you're helping them work through the process of buying. You're helping them work through the blocks in their mind. Some people are going to buy sooner. Some people are going to buy later. Some people think it's a lot harder to buy a home. Other people think it's a lot more simple to buy a home. They don't realize that it's a 30-day escrow. Some of you guys, like if you're in New York and New Jersey, you guys have this like weird contract review period. I don't even understand it. But like there's this attorney review period where you get the property and then another offer can come in and bump you within 72 hours or until the attorney reviews it. Like Chicago, I think, is like that. Like, what's wrong with you? What is wrong with these states? Like, I would petition to get that shit removed. You do all this work, you win an offer, and then I can come in 72 hours and bump your ass? Like, oh my God, I'd have a field day with that. That'd be so much fun to sell real estate in that like market. That means you also like have to prepare the buyer. So you need to make sure they understand the different timelines involved. You don't do that at the kitchen table after you just showed them 3 houses, right? You need to share, number 5, right? You need to share. Oh, there's a typo. You need to share compensation requirements, unless you don't like money and you like to work for free. And in that case, I have a ton of work for you. Just give me a call afterwards. I'll give you my cell phone number. Lots of work. You need to have case studies prepared, right? For those of you guys that are in Molly's tribe, you guys prepared case studies last year. It took a lot more work to build, didn't it, y'all? It's hard to take all of your thoughts and condense it into 3 pictures and 17 lines. It's like, how do I talk about myself in 17 lines? You need to learn to show, flow, and demo your expertise. Here's your goal to show that you're different. This is a process that should be followed. One is you should talk about the seller's universe, or where do the sellers come from? They're not just on the MLS. You need to be able to demonstrate how you get in front of the people that are thinking about selling but are not on the MLS. Which means you have to talk about how you market to sellers on the behalf of buyers. Because here's what buyers thinks. Here's what a buyer thinks. If you want the psychology of a buyer, well, of course, Vikram, you're going to market to sellers. You want the listing, right? Isn't that what they think? Of course, you're going to market to listings. But the truth is that I would much rather double in the deal off market and get 25 to 50% more compensation, not have to deal with the buyer's agent, or I'm sorry, with the listing agent, and deal directly with the seller and directly against the buyer. Your choice. How do you beat the coming soons? You get there first. Another training for another day. That's how you beat them. You circle prospect. You have way better conversations, right? Like that's one of Compass's competitive advantages. But if I was a seller, here's what I would say if I was a seller. Oh yeah, you might be interviewing some other agents who are going to talk about their exclusivity with the coming soon. But like, are you looking just for their buyers or are you looking for the entire market of buyers? Well, the entire market. Okay, so if you go with that agent, sure, they're going to have access to like their pool of agents. But what I do is I market to the entire pool of available agents out there because I don't know who has your buyer and I want to get you top dollar. Would that tie down question? Would that be important for you and the agent that you choose to list your home? That they're marketing to the entire pool of agents with buyers? Yes or no? Well, yeah, that would be. Why would that be? Probe and clarify. You guys, we don't lose listings. There's no reason you should lose a listing appointment. The problem is we're not saying the right thing. Number 3, you talk about the agreements involved, right? And power players. You talked about your game plan. How do you approach buying a home? Getting pre-approved is what everybody says is the first step. That's not the first step. Sitting down with a competent agent and walking through these 11 steps is actually a better first step. Would you guys agree? Wouldn't you want your loved ones, if you like them? I guess loved ones implies you love them. Wouldn't you want your loved ones to have an agent that walks them through every step of the process versus let's go look at houses? I don't know. I mean, you tell me. You talk about the home that got them thinking about buying a homes. You build that dream home with them. You guys, building the dream home is 9 minutes max. Probably can do it in 4 to 6. It's just a checklist of items. It's a question at the end. It's an emotional feeling. And then it's building the gap based off of the overarching goal. It's somewhere between 4 to 9 minutes. It's not a 45-minute presentation. If you talk to me or my friends or my parents for 45 minutes about their next home, my dad will kick you out of the house. He'll literally get up and leave and be like, talk to my wife. It's really for her. I'm going to go sit in front of my computer and watch this movie. He'd be bored out of his mind. You need to talk about the economics of your marketplace, the specific economics of your marketplace. You need to talk about offer structures because let me tell you guys, you shouldn't write offers. You should win homes. They are not paying you to write offers. Redfin does that for free. They are paying you for expertise and advice, but you can't give expertise and advice if you didn't walk them through the offer structure, the economics, if you didn't walk them through the approaches, the phases. You need to tell them what happens next steps. So, hey, after we get your offer accepted, the next step is pretty simple. This, and this. My team's going to reach out to you if you have a team, if you have a TC. My team's going to reach out to you. They're going to reach out to you for X, Y, and Z. I call you once a week to give you an update. If you don't hear from me Monday through Thursday, that's good news. That means we're taking care of everything. If you hear from me on a Wednesday at 2 o'clock, Jennifer, pick up your phone because it's important. Shit's hit the fan. But if you don't hear from me Monday through Thursday, don't worry. I got you, boo. Our team is covering everything. We do this all day long. We're going to send you an appraisal and an inspection report. We're going to send you a this and a that and a this. Any questions how that works? No. Awesome. You're going to talk about the safety net. How do they get out of the transaction if there is a safe? Maybe there is no safety net in your market. Maybe your market, you have to go guns blazing to win houses because it's so competitive. You're going to then talk about compensation, right? There's typically how many ways we can be compensated in this market. In the chat, how many ways can we be compensated in this market? I should see a lot of numbers in here. One way. I think there's multiple ways we can be compensated in this market. 3 ways, 1,000 ways. That might be a little complex to say in a 50-minute presentation. 3 ways, 4 ways, right? There's somewhere between 3 to 4 ways. The first one is what? The seller compensates my office, not the listing agent. The seller compensates my office and my office compensates me. Just like how it's always been, which is what we typically see. The second way, right? The second way is you, the buyer, would compensate me on an agreed upon number that we would discuss now. The third way is a hybrid. The seller pays a portion and you, the buyer, would pay a portion. What's the fourth way? I hope and pray that God will compensate me when I go up above or I go down below. I don't like that way. I know 3 ways. So if you guys have a fourth way, the fourth way is, actually I lied. The fourth way is we write it into the agreement and we have the lender financing pay us through different mechanisms. So there's 4 ways, right? There's 4 ways. So whoever said 4 was correct. 4 ways, right? We can write it into the agreement and have the buyer compensate us. The buyer technically pays for it, but the buyer's always paying for it. But we have it paid through the lenders. Y'all, you're realtors. You should go and talk to your lenders and ask your lenders how we can be compensated. That's part of your job of being prepared and professional, is talk to your lending partners and talk to escrow partners and see how we can be compensated for this stuff. That is your job as a professional, to know the different ways of compensation. That is your job, to know the different ways that we find sellers for our clients, right? Anybody feel uncomfortable when a buyer brings up compensation? Three of you are going to be honest and the rest of you are going to lie through your teeth. I felt uncomfortable. I still feel uncomfortable asking people for money, but I do it every day. You practice, you practice, you practice. Everywhere you go, ask for a discount. Everywhere you go, ask for a discount. Everywhere. I don't care if you get no discount. Like, you're never going to see these people again. What do you care? And if you do see them again, like, let's say it's your normal coffee shop, they're going to give you a discount every time you walk in. Why? Because you're a regular. Okay, we're running short on time. I told you this was going to happen. Damn it, Sal. Number 11, you got to know how to ask for a commitment. If you don't know how to ask for the commitment, you are hoping and praying at the end of a 50 to 60 minute, amazing, beautiful laid out presentation that they're just going to be like, I want to work with you, Bob. And that never happens. Now, if you do a really good job, you have great tie down questions, right? You have great next step questions, then they will say, hey, so what's the next step? But that's like 40 to 50% of the time. Even if you're really, really good, that's maybe 60% of the time. That still leaves 4 out of 10 people that aren't going to ask that question. So you have to know how to ask for the commitment. You guys, if you want to join us, first off, was any of this helpful before I do my sales pitch? You guys can leave now. I know, you just come for the free shit. I get it, I know. In the chat, before we go, we have 2 minutes left. 1 to 3 takeaways. Something you're committed to doing. I don't need learners. I need doers. Learners don't make money. They're too busy learning. Christina knows that. She teaches a ton of people. Learners are too busy learning. They're at every single event. They're not implementing anything. 1 to 3 things you need to implement in the next 2 to 4 weeks. Let's go in the chat. Hurry up. Go through your notes. Remember that page I told you guys to put to the side that 10% of us did? Go through those really quick. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. If any of you guys want to join us inside of our private community, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty fun. This is our free community. You can join us here and then just send me a DM that you want to learn more about our private community, and somebody will reach out to you, either myself or one of our team members. If you guys got value from this, I'd love a follow on Instagram. Trying to organically grow our Instagram right now because last year sucked. So I'd love to spam you on Instagram as well. I mean, support you on Instagram. Probably going to spam you too. That's okay though. You guys should take our spam and see what we're doing and then implement it as well. Other than that, I wish everybody here a super successful, amazing, fantastically awesome 2026. Any of you catch that? It's 2024. Okay, still we got a few of them awake still. Okay. All right, still a few of you awake. Some of you need more coffee. Just don't come and visit me. Their coffee here is horrible. Make this your year of implementation. Become obsessed with your sales process. Stop worrying whether or not your social media is the greatest one out there. Stop worrying about, oh my God, do I have the right CRM and follow up tools in the CRM? You're just trying to do that because you're not obsessed with what you say. If you become obsessed with your communication, your sales will grow tremendously. I promise you, right? For those of you guys who were here yesterday and you guys got to hear Nathan, the 17-year-old stud, 17-year-old, Ollie's probably like 1 or 2 years right around your age. You look like you're about 20-ish. Pretty close. 20. Good at this shit, y'all. Super stud, but he's focused on one thing, not marketing, not being like the best at everything in the world. He's just focused on how to be the best communicator, which is what we call sales. So become obsessed with it. And I promise you, your world will change. Other than that, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for putting up with my nonsense. I just have to be authentic to me. And yeah, like, no, I'm not in Colombia. I am in Ecuador, actually. And then I go to Venezuela, and then I travel down to Brazil. I only go to safe countries. I'll see you guys next week, or some of you later today. Peace.